Something's missing. There we go. Hello everyone, I saw a bunch of familiar faces in there. Tavon, Leo the King, Sebior, welcome. Angles, also saw you, and Lightning Gold, hello. Lori, I am jelly of the shiny Melmetal and Pokemon Go. I'm hoping that they'll make it available soon so that I can hunt one. Smoker, welcome. Let's see if today is the day. I got 6 shiny Froakies myself, and I'm only an hour and a half into Community Day. So that was pretty exciting. Still kind of got it on my desk. Hunting simultaneously, I guess. We got a lot that's going on in today's stream. I get a hold of baby. I am managing two switches while shiny hunting and playing Pokemon Go all at the same time. I hope Darkrai doesn't surpass Shaman. That would be terrible. Oh yeah, I have like plenty of Melmetal candies. Yeah, no worries there, Sebior. Yeah, the problem is it can only be shiny during certain events, and yeah. I don't happen to have been playing Pokemon Go during the last event, which was like in March of this year. Tavon, do you not have Go? You got 37 shiny Froakies? Dang. David, I didn't leave the house, but I still managed to get 6 of them. I had a very, very late start to my day today. I got up at like 11 a.m. Rushed through getting a giveaway video done, getting a baby fed, getting ready for the day, of course, all that fun stuff. Also, it's been brought to my attention that I need to fix my stream. I knew I would forget to do that. There we go. Yeah, I was like, something's off about my stream. I don't like it. Hey, Aquatic, welcome. Pokemon Go loves graveyards. Oh, hey, if it works, it works. It wouldn't happen to be what I'm doing with my computer at this very moment, would it? I don't know how to adequately show you guys this, but I have my laptop set to walk my Pokemon Go character around. That's how I was able to do community day for my apartment. Though, to be fair, I only have it walking around my apartment as if I would be, you know, doing that naturally, so... Yeah, I mean... I probably could have... Well, I did get 3 of my shiny Froakies just sitting here. And then for the other 3, I sent my computer out and about. Gotta be careful with it, though, so that, like, Nintendo doesn't decide that they hate you over it, but... Yeah, pretty fun. Actually, I'm almost out of Froakies at my location. I need to set my walk path again. Very happy with this community day. Good, good. 30, over 30's freaking insane, man. Hey, Skygams and Toxic, welcome. You're welcome for the Mewtwo as well. Do I think this will take longer than the Shaman hunt? I hope not. I mean, so far I'm getting the encounters faster. Just because Shaman, I did halfway with one switch. I don't think anything can mentally take as long. Like, I think this Darkrai would have to hit, like, 20,000 encounters before it felt as long as Shaman. I mean, I say that now, but, we'll see when I get to, if I get to 10,000 on this one, if I still feel the same way. Hey, Austin, welcome. At this point, I'm just trying to get my Stardust up, so I'm just catching everything I see. Foreshadowing? I hope not. No, this could come, like, right now, and I'd be perfectly happy. Finally got the Mega Man Battle Network collection. There you go. You know, the Sinnoh legendaries really are giving me a tough time. I feel like Johto's gonna give me a harder time, though. Hey, thanks, Sabior. I hope I get it before 3K, too. Unfortunately, I think we're only gonna be able to get to, like, 2,600 today, if we're lucky. Oh, shoot, dang, one more viewer and we hit 20 for the stream. That's pretty freaking exciting. I remember when I struggled to get 3 viewers per stream. Come a long way since then, really. How that it takes down to 15, that's kind of sad. Glad you're enjoying them, Tavon. Haha. Baby coins finally giving in to the nap sleepies. Oh yeah, I'll be streaming next week. And hopefully more on a regular style of a schedule. You won't be able to join my streams at that time? That's unfortunate. But yeah, I will be streaming, generally speaking, 6 p.m. to hopefully 9 p.m. next week, or I guess this upcoming week. I'm really gonna try to stream all day Tuesday. Like, I have a goal set to do that. I want to have an all-day stream. You're going to Cyprus tomorrow? Yeah, that sounds fun. Like, Cyprus, Italy, right? You've been in Dallas all day? That sounds like a party. I've been to Dallas one time, I think. Basically being cooked out there, that's no fun. Be a bunch of hot dogs out there. Wow, there's a lot going on. I know in Nevada, frequently you can cook eggs on the sidewalk. I would definitely not eat that egg. Generally speaking, they, yeah, you can cook an egg on a sidewalk. The problem is it doesn't cook it fast enough to, like, maintain a sanitary environment. You know, aside from the fact that you're cooking it on a sidewalk and how dirty those things are, but, like, it cooks it so slowly that, like, bacteria warms up to it. Like, it doesn't kill bacteria. Best of luck on that perfect Iron Hands. I've been working on Let's Go Pikachu Eevee and preparing my Pikachu save file to help out my Eevee save file. I'm going to redo my Let's Go Pikachu Eevee stream because it's been 4 years. And I'm going to stream the other games for Kanto as well, I think. I'm gonna go through and 100% every Pokedex on stream. Professor Brascoin. I have not played Mega Man. My problem is, like, I recently learned that if I could get into my Pokemon Crystal file data, I could manipulate my game cartridge to being basically unlocking Celebi. And I could complete the second gen Pokedex. And, like, I'm thinking I want to do that, but that's going to take a lot of effort, time, and trial and error to figure out. Like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do it on original hardware or if I'm going to, you know, just use the 3DS virtual consoles. Bonus to the 3DS consoles is I can put them into the bank and then into home. Whereas with first and second gen, they're stuck there. There's no way to get those moved up. No, Yellow... You can trade Pokemon Yellow to Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal, but Gold, Silver, and Crystal can't trade to Gen 3. They are completely isolated. Yeah, Sabior, somebody was telling me about it last time. Well, not last time, but in a previous stream. It might have been you. It is really sad that you can't transfer them up. Like, such a sad occurrence. Codes? Like for a Game Shark? Yeah. Like I've always said with my giveaways, they're safe to use online, but I wouldn't recommend, you know, taking them to the World Championships. That's just dumb. Everybody knows that, like, the World Championships has stronger checks than just regular online because they're a lot more persnickety about that. Especially, why would you do it in Japan? Of all places, you're gonna take that crap to Japan? Like, they have the heaviest game alteration fines ever. And I think they're one of the few countries that that's illegal to do. Hey, Leo the King, you have a great one. Get some sleep. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I haven't researched into the coin case glitch for Mew, but I have heard of it. Never really needed it because the original Mew glitch is so easy on the Gen 1 and Gen 1. It's not for Mew. Is it for Celebi? But yeah, apparently, like, from that World Champions disqualification, what they say was happening was that when people generated their Pokemon, they did not change the game origin correctly. So, like, they have a Pokemon from Fire Red natively, but they said it was from Leaf Green or, you know, something similar to that. And it flagged Nintendo's system because, like, wait a second, this Pokemon isn't obtainable in this game. Why is it coming from this game? Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I could use that glitch to get my Pokemon, though. Because, like, while that would be fun to do for just a video purpose, like, I know for a fact if I use that glitch to get the Pokemon, that if I were to transfer them up, it wouldn't register correctly. Like, it would register as a more of a hacked Pokemon than a glitch. Just because, say you turn a Machop into a Celebi, or a shiny Celebi at that, what'll end up happening is, on the surface of your game, the code, you know, it looks like what the glitch is doing, but on the back end, it's still going to be a Machop. You just lost your egg move. Oh, that's sad. Okay, little one, you're going to a nap. Hopefully he plays nicely and stays asleep. So part of the reason why my late start is so late today is Baby Coin is sick today, and he was up pretty much all night. That was fun. Basically wanted to suck on his binky the entire night, but his nose was so plugged up that, like, he was not breathing. So, like, had to soothe and comfort him to get him to sleep with his mouth open. Yeah, he does not want to not be held. Love that. Evidently, he says that's not happening. $22,000 soft resets. I have heard a lot of people have issues with this hunt. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, Angles. Just getting that much information about a game. I still haven't watched it. I've just heard bits and pieces of it, but it's crazy. Oh, I have no idea. I think it's funny that Elon killed Twitter. Just like, no more bird. X. But hey, if he can turn it into a WhatsApp, more power to him. You were convinced they shiny locked it? I would not be surprised. That would definitely be some Game Freak crap to pull. Sabior, what DLC are you talking about? No, on my phone, it's been updated fully to X. But yeah, people referring to it are still calling it Twitter. I never used Twitter that much anyways. I just think it's funny how pissed off people got that he bought Twitter to begin with. I thought it was so funny. Like, when you're as rich as Elon Musk, like, there are very few things you can do to keep yourself entertained. Exactly, like, I just... Well, okay, what are you gonna do with it? Like, I'm interested. Show me what's up. I mean, the dude made... Like, owns Tesla, owns SpaceX, owns PayPal, like... I don't know if he, like, owns PayPal, but he was one of the co-creators of it. Yeah, in 2002, eBay acquired PayPal. with the money he made, he founded SpaceX. So he doesn't own it anymore, but he's one of the creators of it. And apparently PayPal used to be X.com. Ian, I like chocolate chip cookies. He does. Wealthiest person in the world. Dang. Oh, lightning. There you go. Get the other counterpart to your game series. It's pretty good. Yeah, so like, apparently just reading up on it, he founded X.com, which was a direct bank, then it merged with Confinity, and then it formed PayPal, and then eBay bought it in 2002. eBay still. A level 1 armor version of Ceruledge? That doesn't sound right. It really does, having the Pokedex in order. It's awesome. Armorogue? Not really, David. Still have not found the shiny. Shoot, since this stream started, I haven't even found a shiny Froakie yet. No, Tavon. It would not. Pokemon don't really retain information of what they were evolved with. Community Day just ended for you and you only got 12. I got an hour left and I still only have 6. I don't think I'm going to be improving on that number. Which still, 6 is pretty good. But I found like 3 huge Froakies now. Who doesn't want those? Tavon, do you have Pokemon Go? Yeah, I don't have the ability to put them into Pokemon Home. At least I don't think I do. Someone told me the level cap was like level 40, and I'm not level 40. Gotta get Pokemon Home, man, or Pokemon Go. Participate in them easy, shiny community days. Yeah. You trade them on Pokemon Go. Like, shinies lose their value for a lot of things when taken out of Pokemon Go because you can't put them back in. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not to mention the sheer cost to trade for a Froakie would be probably around 400,000 Stardust, and it'll take quite some time to get there. I haven't even touched Temtem. I think I technically have it on my computer. Somewhere. Shiny level 1 Greninja for the win. No, it's more that it has a Stardust cost. So, like, you catch Pokemon, you earn Stardust. Like, I just traded a member of my Discord server a Zapdos, but because it's a legendary and a Pokemon I don't have, it cost me 400,000. And that's just our friendship, like, pretty high up there on the app to reduce the cost. It's insane. Like, they can be upwards of 800,000 to trade. Just sticking with Pokemon Violet then? Probably a good plan. But hey, Froakie will be given away eventually on that game. In fact, I think my next Scarlet Violet giveaway is the shiny starters. Yes. And I think we were a day shy of another cost reduction is the sad thing. And then you can only do one special trade per day, which if you don't have the Pokemon or it's a legendary, that's a special trade. Yeah. We weren't quite there yet. Some of them. Like Fennekin, Chestnut, and Froakie are able to be in there, but no, if it was announced in that video, no, you can't transfer them in. Who plays Pokemon anymore? Me! That's who. Yeah, you would need to buy the DLC to move the starters into your game. However, you don't need the DLC to have somebody trade them to you, if I understand correctly. Yeah, 2 special trays for a seasonal event. I just didn't have enough Stardust for that. I mean, they might do that, Tavon, but because the DLC hasn't come out yet, nobody can move them. So we don't know yet. Nope. To my knowledge, there is no Darkrai glitch. However, I assume that if you could walk through walls on this game, you could still get to New Moon Island, where you could encounter a Darkrai. But then again, I feel like early on in BDSP, I watched somebody use a glitch to get over to Darkrai's island, but they still couldn't get inside. It wasn't the walk through walls glitch. I think they were floating and couldn't turn it off. Alright, dude, if we're gonna be a wiggle worm, we're gonna go play. How about that? So we're here looking back at me like, what the heck? Why did you put me in here? Someone traded you a shiny Dark Arceus and a Darkrai? That was nice of them. See how many Froakies I need to throw away now. That's a lot. Yeah. Got a lot of Froakies to throw away. What do you mean, how do I know which ones to throw away? The ones that aren't shiny, obviously. Yeah, I gotta send them to the professor to be chewed up, spit out, and turned into candies. Yeah, they're just Froakies. They're not super rare or anything in the game. Like, we've always been able to get, well, not always, but we've been able to get Froakie for, like, ever. Like, a year or two at least. But yeah, there's like about 120 of them. Oh yeah, for sure. It's so hard to see that with things shiny. Your first shiny Palmy. Oh no. Oh no. It used Wild Charge? No. Oh. Because I only have 100. Yep. Yeah, it probably would have been faster if I would have been out and about walking and, you know, not trying to get a stream done today, but today just wasn't a great day for a community day for me. Or I guess, rather, my kid wasn't a fan of cooperating with me today. And am I tired? A little bit, actually. Like I was saying earlier in the stream, my kid has a cold and his nose was not cooperating last night. Like, he was so plugged up and congested. He just wanted to suck on his binky, but every time he tried to do that, like, he couldn't breathe through his nose. So, like, he kept trying to suffocate himself and waking up, and then, yeah, had to pretty much hold him the entire night in a way that his nose would not get stuffed up so he could breathe through it. So that means I didn't get to sleep. The joys of keeping a human alive. What Pokemon game has the best Pokedex? Definitively Generation 3. However, one could argue Generation 7, given that it has all Pokemon from Generations 1 to 7. But if we're talking about like the regional decks instead of the national decks, yeah, definitively Generation 3. Though Generation 5 is pretty lit. Like, it has the best bugs, no doubt. Like, it has 5 banger bugs. You're excited to catch Snivy in the DLC? That'll be fun. I'm excited to see what all the DLC has to offer. Go on a field trip, rob the land of their guardian deities. Now, hey, you know, they're just having some school spirit there, Ian. You know, we got the Yuva Academy and Narja Academy, whatever. I slaughtered that, but whatever. You got the Orange and Grape Academy. We're just gonna go over to the Blueberry Academy and just, you know, steal their team mascots and decimate them. It's just part of the homecoming festivities, right? I mean, to be fair, I kind of feel like that's how Generation 7 was. You know, you've got the Tapus. They're all guardian deities of these islands in Hawaii. And, you know, we go through and just capture them all because why the heck not? And, you know, we just move there same day, go on a field trip, catch their guardian deities. It's probably okay. Like Pokemon as a franchise, 1 out of 10? Like, Pokemon as a franchise as a whole, 1 out of 10. I would probably give, like, a solid 7. Because, like, it's not my favorite franchise, but it is one of my favorite franchises. Adding to that, like, there's obviously a lot of room for improvement for the company to fix things. Yeah, I can get behind that, Ian. I would give Generation 4 a 9 just because it's so frickin' slow. But other than that, yeah, I agree with that assessment. Yeah. The recent games do be a 6 or 7. Just because, like, there's so much... They're quickly put together, and it shows. And there's just so much more improvement they could do and stop being lazy. And the whole appeal to Pokemon, like, I feel as someone who's followed it pretty much their entire lives, is that the new games allowed for the new Pokemon to shine through while still letting you use the old ones. Because after all, it's all about how the player wants to enjoy the game. And if they don't want to use the new Pokemon, they shouldn't have to. If they want to use the same Pokemon that they've been using since Generation 1, why not? Why would you get in the way of that? That's just more fun for them to have with stuff that they already enjoy. Like, why would you put a limiter on that? It's like, no, you already enjoyed this on the last game. You can't possibly enjoy it on this game. It's forbidden. You have to use the new ones and enjoy those ones. Coolest Pokemon. I gotta go with Marshadow. I mean, Swampert's my favorite, but I think overall coolest. Gotta go with Marshadow. Yeah, 3D animations would need a little bit of a rework. So, like, being realistic, I don't see why it would take a person any more than a day per Pokemon in all reality. So by the time the game has ran its 2-year course before the next game, I don't see any reason why all of the Pokemon couldn't be added into it. You know, having 3 people dedicated to doing that. Yeah, it was a life cycle of 2 to 3 years. Came out in 2019. I believe BDSP came out in 2021, but it was just a remake, and that's anticipated. But SV didn't come out until 3 years after Sword and Shield did, so Sword Shield had a 3-year lifespan. I would anticipate Scarlet and Violet to have a 3-year lifespan, which would probably put the next Pokemon game being, well, definitely would put it at the last one being on the Switch, but could be the first one on the new console whenever that gets announced. But I'm hopeful that they'll have another one on the Switch, but at the same time, I think it would be kind of nice to upgrade equipment for it. But, like, it's sad because as of right now, the Switch is officially, like, the largest collection of Pokemon ever. Like, yeah, the DS and 3DS technically would have the most compatible games, but the most Pokemon, Switch is actually hanging in there with. It is the game where you can get the most Pokemon. Well, the console, anyways. I think by the time the DLC is all said and done, there's 16 that we would be missing. Oh, cutest Pokemon's definitely got to be Mudkip. Okay, a solid argument can be made for Wooper, let's be honest. Getting 2 encounters at once? Yes. Should significantly cut down the time. At least we're hoping. I mean, if I really needed to, I could probably figure out a way to do 4 at once, but then, you know, everything would be a screen and there would be no camera unless they put it like right in the middle, which I feel like would be super awkward, but I don't think I have enough hands for that one. I can, well, I can run 2 controllers per hand technically, but I think that would just be a lot of craziness. It for sure has 2 more years left, but I'm thinking it has 3. I would be okay with it having 2 more years left as long as they make it backwards compatible. Like, take everything the Switch has now and put it on the Switch sequel, but give us more on the Switch sequel. And I think that would be the best of every world. Absolutely has to be backwards compatible. I feel like it would just be disrespectful to the Switch players to not make it backwards compatible. Wii games on Switch, Pokemon Rumble. Oh, no, no. Honestly, Nintendo can get away with dropping, like, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, start doing marketing 3 months before it releases. And they can do that crap for Pokemon. You know, oh, we're having a new game, like Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think we officially found out about that when BDSP came out. Like, they can give us no news on these A-tier games and have them have a successful launch. But if they are going to do a new console and have it not be a Wii U repeat, they have to market it. They have to let us know a year in advance that, you know, it's going to be a product, it's going to be a thing. And as of yet, they haven't done any of that, and I don't expect them to change that this year. I would think 2024 we're gonna start seeing news about it, and then 2025 we'll see a release for it. Especially when we consider, like, processing power and equipment are still hard to get a hold of. that in the economy is still reeling from, like, COVID. So until things level out, I don't anticipate Nintendo making a new console and pushing that narrative. Like, it's just not wise to try to make your fan base buy a new console to play your games when people don't have a lot of money right now. I mean, maybe that's just a uniquely American idea, but I feel like the global economy was decimated by COVID and hasn't recovered yet. How long has this been going on, like the stream? About an hour and a half. The hunt itself, probably about a month. Yeah, the Switch is still doing well, and like when game companies like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft make consoles, the sale of the console is not their profit goal. The sale of the console, with that, the goal is not to make profit, it's to sell games to then make profit. So, like, as long as the Switch is still getting games made, like, Nintendo is not going to care. They don't need a new console to sell games. The Switch is, like, uniquely catered to not be competitive with the other two systems, which are also struggling right now. Like, I don't know, a lot of Nintendo fans fail to realize that Microsoft and Sony are in just as big of a pit as Nintendo is right now. The difference is Nintendo does it to themselves most of the time. But like, Microsoft and Sony aren't doing much better. The reason why Microsoft keeps trying to buy all of these game companies isn't so they can create a monopoly, it's more so that the games are only available on their console, so people buy the consoles and then they get more of the revenue from it. And then Sony just hasn't really sold as many PS5s as they would like. Pokemon Legends game set in the Paldea region, I think would be a complete and total waste. Oh my gosh, a Pokemon Coliseum remake would be so fire! I still need to finish my playthrough of Pokemon Coliseum that I was streaming. Kind of trying to get some shiny hunts out of the way before I finish that one, because that's going to be a doozy. That's going to be part of my Gen 3 stream, where I'm going to fill in the entire Pokedex from Gen 3. Generation 5 should definitely get a Legends game. Generation 7 definitely should not get a Legends game. I don't feel like Kanto would be a worthy generation either. I think Unova and Johto would be the only two that would be acceptable to have a Legends game in. Oh yeah, even just re-releasing them, updated graphics slightly maybe. I mean, kind of Galactic. Like, I see what people... I could see why it could, but I feel like a Legends game for the Paldea region, like... there's no lore behind it. Like, Legends Arceus, the reason why it was so successful is because we were exploring the lore behind the Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. You know, why did Cyrus know that he could collect the Lake Guardians and use them to summon Dialga and Palkia? Well, because it was done before, and we got to see those events of his ancestor guiding us and helping us to do it. Well, not directly, but, you know, through the Silene or whatever the crap her name is, being in that area. Like, it had a story and a backstory to help us out. Now, with the 4 legendaries, they do have a backstory for the king of the Paldea region and all that. But what they don't have is the box legendaries having a reasonable excuse to be there with, well, time travel hasn't been invented yet, so we can't bring past Paradox Mons or future Paradox Mons into the equation because it just didn't exist. It's a new development. We could be exploring Area 0, and it could be significantly different from what we see, but I don't know, just with the Ruinous Quartet, there's really not a lot of lore behind them other than, yeah, they got given to this king and then all chaos broke loose. You fall into an ultra wormhole to where... Legends Galar is one that could be done. Yeah, because Legends Galar could be done because it has lore in the past that surfaces later on. Like, the whole Darkest Day is something that we could experience firsthand because we never truly experience it in Sword and Shield. Like, yeah, Eternatus is awoken again, and some Dynamaxing does happen, but not to the extent of the Darkest Day made it sound. So, like, we could definitely go through the events to see that firsthand. But the game gives context as to, you know, this thing happened in the past. We don't know much about it, what's going on. More or less, the context behind the 4 Ruinous Trio is that they just broke crap because this king's greed. I don't feel like there's really a story there. It's just kind of a thing. The creator or Paldea. So, like, the creator of the Paldea region, it does have scientists that went through and did it. So, understandably so, you could argue that we could be one of those scientists or, you know, adventurers that go down into the Paldea crater and start discovering stuff and seeing these creatures as the book has been written about. But I don't know. Whenever time travel is involved, it gets crazy and very difficult to muddle through. Like, yeah, we could be the original adventurers that took down those notes, but I think the Paldea region as a whole at this point in time just has too much that's unexplained as far as how it works and why, because realistically speaking, the author of the Scarlet and Violet books respectively should have not been able to see those Pokemon because they did not exist down there. prior to the professor time traveling, right? So like the whole gist of, you know, and maybe my understanding is incorrect, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole premise behind Scarlet and Violet is that your respective professor loved the past or the future, depending on your version, so much that he wanted to bring the Pokemon from that region to the present. Until that time, these Pokemon did not exist in the present. So it does not explain in the context of the game how the explorers from 2,000 years ago saw these Pokemon. And I'm hoping that the DLC addresses that and gives us an explanation as to how this 2,000-year-old expedition team was able to see these paradox forms, even though the machine to do the time travel to bring them there had not existed yet. But yes, Legends Jirachi, Legends Celebi, and Legends Kyurem could definitely be a viable possibility in my mind. Because they are all Pokemon that had history in the region, that impacted the region in a very big way. Zarude, not so much. Zarude had zero impact to the story of Sword and Shield at all. And Zarude's only thing was more of a recent modern times situation with raising Coco and all that fun stuff. Yeah, the original Dragon of Unova would be awesome, because that is an integral part of the 5th generation story. Getting to watch that thing split, maybe being the reason behind it, figuring out what actually happened, because that story kind of needs expounded upon. And don't get me wrong, Galactic, I love Zarude. One of my favorite mythicals, to be honest. But he doesn't have world-altering consequences for messing with. Like, Jirachi has been around for eons, making wishes for people, helping people out, and, you know, waking up every so often to grant those wishes. Celebi can travel through time, is a purification element in some games, and could impact greatly the origin behind Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, which, you know, at this point has been retconned by Scarlet and Violet, because they give us an origin in the ancient Paldea region for those Pokemon. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And yeah, so those games I feel like could work out really easily and be intriguing to a wide variety of people. Along with the Galar, Legends Eternatus could be awesome as well. With Legends Eternatus, though, we do need a way in which we get sent back there, or get summoned there. I mean, they could keep with the Arceus trope summoning you there, because, you know, Arceus wants to see his worlds move on and all that stuff. So he could be the world-altering element there. Ultra wormholes do not travel through time. They travel through space. Although, depending on your physics of the thing is, I mean, if you travel through space in a way, you could travel through time. There's that possibility. Oh, don't get me wrong, Eternatus is definitely an alien. Like, I feel like Eternatus is a full-fledged Ultra Beast. Like, I'm in that camp, definitely. But as far as a Legends game, Legends is in the past. You know? Like, you have to get from modern times to the past to experience the legend behind the Pokemon. A wormhole would not do that, necessarily. A wormhole would take you to another place, but it wouldn't take you to another place in time. Yeah. Like, I am fully on board with Eternatus being an Ultra Beast at this point. Kind of like Necrozma in my mind. Will what be available in the future? The Darkrai that I'm trying to hunt? Probably. It's actually probably going to be available before I actually finish the hunt. Alright, let's see. Bomber Deluxe has some comments that I haven't addressed. Yeah, self-made paradox where the professor's time machines mess with the time and cause the ancient future Pokemon to appear in the past. That could be. Which then allowed that research team to see them and then write about them and then inspired the professor to make the time machine. That's absolutely possible. I like that, Bomber Deluxe. That is called a bootstrap paradox. That is the same equivalent to the Song of Storms in Ocarina of Time. Now, if you guys aren't Zelda buffs like myself, the Song of Storms in Ocarina of Time is a bootstrap paradox. It is something that can't really exist, but always has existed. So, in Ocarina of Time, you travel to the future, or I guess, you know, you're in the future, 7 years in the future, and you go to this windmill that's been drained of water. Like, it's running the well. You learn the Song of Storms there in the future, but the context behind it is, hey, that ocarina you have, it reminds me of this kid that played this song that messed up the windmill 7 years ago. So he teaches you the song that messes up the windmill, then you go back into the past 7 years, play that song, and become the kid that messed up the windmill. So at some point, the song just comes out of nowhere. And that could be the same thing with these professors, the Time Machine, and the Paradox Pokemon. They just come out of nowhere. Bootstrap paradoxes. Pretty crazy. How long did it take me to beat the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time? I don't know. I can do it in about 20 minutes now. Water Temple used to be the most confusing temple to me, but it actually makes sense now. Like, I have played Ocarina of Time so many times that the Water Temple makes sense now. Like, it is no longer the hardest temple for me. The problem with the Water Temple is not that it's difficult, it's that things are easily missed. With the Water Temple, if you do it correctly, you should only have to raise the water level one time. Well, sorry, 2 times. So, like, and what I mean by that is 2 cycles. So, you start out with it all the way maxed out, you take it to the lower, you clear the ground floor, you clear the second floor, you clear the 3rd floor while raising the water up simultaneously. But there's an item on the 3rd floor that you need to go back to the ground floor and then work your way back up again, and then you're done. You can systematically do that temple. The only reason why you have to lower the water level to begin with is because by the time you get the long shot, in order to get into the 2nd floor area, you've already gone up to the 3rd floor. So you have to lower it back down to the 1st floor, then up to the 2nd floor again. Alright. Like, the professors only made the time machine because they read the Scarlet and Violet book, but the book only exists because the professors made the time machine. Absolutely. And now, I feel like that's what the DLC should explain, but that in and of itself doesn't warrant a mystery for a Legends game, because at that point it's self-contained. We wouldn't have to play as the expedition team to figure that out because we already did it in the future. Lana! Yeah, we're still going at it. Not having super great luck either. You just got 2 minutes of ads, so you missed what I was talking about. Yeah, I think I pretty much rambled into a loop in which I repeated myself twice, but Bomber Deluxe, I basically just had explained what you were talking about while you were on ads. Bootstrap Paradox, and I went into an example of Legend of Zelda doing it. And I think, technically speaking, I think the Tears of the Kingdom might be another example of a Bootstrap Paradox, because Zelda goes back in time, and then the Sky Islands appear. Now, we don't know at the present time whether those Sky Islands appeared as a repercussion of her going into the past and altering the events and setting those Sky Islands to rise, or if there was something else at play that, because Ganondorf awoke, this whole thing unveiled itself. So either way, it could be. But what is clear is it seems that in the original events, Zelda was present, because with Zelda standing next to us, we awaken Ganondorf, and what he says is he calls Link and Zelda by name, so he knew us before Zelda went back in time, and then, you know, she goes back in time and does everything. So, like, that could be a self-contained Bootstrap Paradox as well. Something that always was, that always will be, with no starter end in sight. $2,500, not $3,500. I love it. Try to add a sentry mode. Hey, Chance, welcome. Should you purify a Shadow Regirock? Only if you don't have a regular Regirock already. Then yes, definitely purify that. But, like, increase its power first. Yeah, Glitch City. Somebody else knows what's up. Dude, I love Glitch City's music. It's so great. Skygams, what about t-shirts? Also, I don't know why that's not coming through on my chat, but it's coming up on my screen. But why do we keep saying t-shirts? I have never heard of the other two. I actually quite like the new Raikou. I like it more than Walking Wake. I think Walking Wake was really stupid. But I can't remember what they actually decided to call Raikou, but I like Raikou. I think he's pretty cool. It makes sense. He looks like a dragonish. Pro-tee it up? What the heck does that word mean? Is Pro-tee a shop? But that says Thai. Pro-Thai? I brought it up? When did I bring up t-shirts today? I mean, if I'm doing t-shirts, I need to have something cool to put on them. I mean, I might have been talking about them in a previous stream. Snorlax is heavier than your Regirock? Well, it's probably significantly bigger, too. But yeah, a lot of, like, that, Raikou is getting a lot of hate for no good reason. Like, I feel like the hate needs to be directed towards Walking Wake. Suicune, with the way it looks like a freaking Velociraptor, had no business being Dragon-type. But I did successfully call on my Discord server the other day that Raikou was also going to be Dragon. Like, the Legendary Cats trio is going to be Dragon commonality, and then the Legendary Swords of Justice were going to be Psychic in commonality, and that seems to be the case thus far. So, also, what do you guys think the chance? Well, I guess Keldeo's special. Keldeo's technically a mythical. I was gonna say, like, what are the chances that we have a 4th legendary cat unveiled? Like, how crazy would that be? Because, like, we have the 4 legendary Swords of Justice, Terrakion, Cobalion, Virizion, and then there's Keldeo. But Keldeo's arguably a mythical as opposed to a legendary, so maybe he doesn't count in that. But, yeah, there's only 3 legendary cats, so there's not a 1-to-1 ratio exactly. Yeah, I agree, Bomber Deluxe. Right? It's crazy they're cats, not dogs. My baby is not named Jack. But it would be cool to name him Jack Jack. They do got a lot in common. Paradox Lugia, that would be dope. You hope the next generation has more baby Pokemon? That'd be kind of cool. Also, I feel like I haven't successfully incremented up in a while. Ho-Oh. I mean, there's the rough mythology speculation that the legendary cats are based off of the Eevee line, you know. It could be cool to have a legendary for each one of the Eevee. Instead of just having the 3, have them all have gotten one. I would be okay with that. Not saying they should do it, but I'd be okay with it. You have a headless Eevee. You liked my old logo? I did too, and I might revert back to it, I don't know. I'm testing out the new logo because it matches with, you know, my avatar in my videos and whatnot. But we'll see. I may not be keeping it. I do like the old one. I did have some attachment to the old one. Name it Dedion. That was the first time in 3 years that I've ever changed my logo. A Dragon Eevee would be cool. Alright. We are going to be ending the stream here in just a minute. My wife should be getting home rather soon. So we'll go to 24:20 and call it a day. We've been streaming just about 2 hours. That and Kiddo's getting rather squirmy. There you go. Palm-sized plush dino. Hey, Felix, welcome. Hey, thanks, Ian. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. You're gonna name him Jordan? That might change once you think of better names. Hey, Tavon, we'll catch you later. Yep, no shiny for this time around, so this hunt will be returning tomorrow. We'll catch you guys later.